Friday safety focus of the week, Friday, the January 26th. January is almost behind us. This week's code of conduct is to maintain cleanliness and condition of our vehicles and equipment. Is there any additional items you'd like to talk about on this, Bendow?
Yeah. Well, aside from having a good image out there and having our equipment and vehicles looking good, see, if when we don't take care of our stuff, it can affect our safety of ourselves and the public. If we've got something wrong and we don't get it fixed, we can get in accidents and we can have things come off the machine when we're in the middle of an operation. It affects our quality of the work that we do when we're unable to perform it according to the parameters that we got to meet a lot of times. It affects the efficiency and it can screw up the whole day. And the other thing, when we're not taking care of our stuff, just say a simple thing like keeping the oil checked, it can cost us tens of thousands of dollars just in minutes. We've seen having to change a motor out on an excavator cost us upwards of $50,000. So all those reasons are good reasons to have this code item be on the forefront once every 13 weeks. So take care of your stuff like it was your own. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Ben. Well said. So this week, I wanted just a quick safety news. Nice job this past week. We didn't have a recordable. 27 days from our last recordable injury, and then 9 days from our last first aid injury. So let's finish the week out strong, and let's start our operation properly this morning with a nice JHA after the safety meeting. Let's talk about the hazards that we may encounter today, and let's mitigate and eliminate all of those potential hazards. Our safety topic for this week is going to be on extension cords. It's been a little while since we've talked about them. We have a very good system in place, utilizing the tool crib and pretty much replacing these right away. But it's also very important that we still don't get complacent with our cords and making sure that we're following all the best practices. And those practices is first, inspect all extension cords daily. Damaged or missing ground prongs, let's take those out of service. Contact health and safety. We can bring some out to you, or if you have capabilities of running them back to the shop during the day, bring them back to the tool crib. Elliot and Billy, we can exchange them out or repair them right here in-house. Utilizing those GFCIs, a lot of the generators now have them built in, but just in case, if not, we do have GFCI plugs, kind of 3-way plugs available, to making sure that, again, that if there is an issue with those cords, that no one gets zapped, no one gets electrocuted. So those GFCIs are very important. Don't bypass them. They're there for your safety. Let's making sure that we're utilizing them properly. So never use a cord that feels hot or damaged in any way. That means our gauges are wrong with our cords, or we're overloading our cords. So that's an issue. If you have hot cords, you're feeling, or a hot cord, we got an issue there. We need to address that. So again, contact health and safety. We're here to help with those situations and making sure that you have the right cords, the right gauges of cords for the type of power source that you're trying to do, if it's pumping or if it's hand power tools. Keeping all extension cords out of high traffic areas. This is another big one. It's a tripping hazard, but also high likely for damaging our cords if we're running extension cords into a job trailer, or definitely down a slope where we might be dewatering and things like that. So try to identify those areas. Keep them up if we can. Pounding a couple grade stakes, especially this time of year with snow. It's not great to have extension cords laying in snow. So if you want to pound a couple grade stakes in, hang them up high, hang them up higher so they can kind of get away from the elements a little bit. It'll keep the integrity of the extension cords, last longer, and it's safer regarding those slip trips and those slip trips hazards that we may do out there. So those are the kind of things that we're going to be looking at. I started it this week with my site inspection down in Montpelier, but again, we're going to, over the next couple of weeks, Tom, myself, and Austin will be looking through our cords, through our job trailers, and just how we're laying out our cords on our projects. So lastly, just remember the 3 C's for extension cord safety is care, connection, and capacity, making sure that we have um, the right capacity that's on the UL tag of your cord. Just making sure it's the right cable. Pretty much everything that we purchase in-house here at the tool crib is the right capacity. So the only time that we get in trouble a little bit if the field purchases it like at an Ace Hardware. So again, we try to avoid those situations. I'll try to plan ahead, utilize the tool crib for all your extension cords needs. It's the best practice moving forward. That's really all I have. If anything has to add, I'll share my screen with the safety topic or the rest of our presentation this morning.
Hey, Matt, are most of our extension cords that we purchase here 12 gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because a 12 gauge would be good up to a 20 amp circuit. If we exceed 150 feet with a 12 gauge cord, we want to go to a 10 gauge cord.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. And we've try not to daisy chain your cord. And if you need a 100-foot cord, get a 100-foot cord.
Yep.
Again, we don't have any 14 gauge, I wouldn't think.
I hope not, but we've seen them in the old days. We used to see quite a few of them out there. If you're not careful, that's what you're going to get at the hardware store when you go for the good price.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, look for price, because the pricier ones are the ones you probably need.
Yep.
I know. Just at least last time I checked, 100-footer was over $100 in some cases, right around that range for 12.3. That's quite a lot of money for an extension cord, obviously.
Yeah, that's why the care is important, and talk about the
definitely
code item of the week: maintain cleanliness and conditions of our equipment, but also our tools and our cords as well.
Okay, you want to take over the screen or give me the
email? You see it now, Ken?
Yes, I do. Okay, I'll let you scroll down for me. Steve, we're going to put you through the whole announcements here and stuff, and then we'll start you up. Okay?
I love it. I love it, Ken. Thanks for including me.
Okay. So first of all, we have the only new announcement is this Morgan Stanley financial advisor representative from them will be at ECI on Friday the 2nd, and half-hour meetings are available from 8 a.m. to 11:30 for employees to discuss their 401k accounts. So contact Melanie in the administrative department to make an appointment, and we have a number and contact info there. And the older announcements was that W-2s were sent out last week, so check with Melanie or Veronica if you have questions or didn't receive them. And then there's another announcement on the kind of a overall federal IRS announcement here that there's a new contribution limit for your 401k if you're over 50 years old. So check it out if you need to, if you're over 50 or if you're interested, or check with Veronica or Melanie or Gina. Okay, scroll down, please. Okay, hey, look, we have somebody's injured in that picture, it looks like, huh? And somebody's helping him. That's CPR, first aid, and bleeding control training. So scroll down.
It was real life. That was real life training, Ken.
Yeah. It is realistic. Scroll down a little bit. I had a little text here. It's very realistic, which is part of the nice thing about it. So Tom Pigeons in the photo trains and serves as a victim of an accident for ECI employees to train on bleeding control. The simulation is strikingly realistic and will be extremely useful for any one of us who is faced with helping to stabilize an injury. Not injury. The goal is for all crews to have one or more persons fully trained. If you're not signed up, check with Tom Pigeon or Matt or anyone in the safety department. But I think that when I experienced some of this with Tom showing me, and more so on the stuffing the gauze in the deep cut, it really was like, I felt grateful that I had the chance to do this in a simulation condition versus having to first do that, if I ever have to do it without ever having tried it in the simulation. Because first of all, blood kind of like maybe makes me a little queasy or a little kind of it's that shocking view that that suddenly that gets you there. And I was able to overcome that and see, oh, it's okay. I can relate, kind of pull myself away from this situation and apply the right, techniques and materials like the stuffing of the gauze there, the coagulant gauze, to make it so that I feel I could do it better now, having experienced it in the simulation.
Yep, real
Without the shock hitting me at the moment as much. Anyway, that's the hope. I don't know what you guys felt, but it really is something that I think the first time you do it, it probably does shock you, but this helps take that shock away from you of having to deal with that. So good stuff. All right,
Okay.
Scroll down and we'll start with the employee giving. So this week we're talking with Steve Lawyer from the Classic Mike Lawyer Foundation, and we will have a Make-A-Wish representative in the future, maybe next week. Okay, good. And then the Vermont National Guard
Following week.
Foundation will be sometime after that. So this week we have Steve Lawyer, and Steve will give us a rundown on news from the foundation and then just give us an update. Steve?
Steve, you want me to take it off, Steve, or lead it off, Steve?
Yeah, I don't
There
want
we
to
go.
step on you,
Tom or
Tom.
Steve?
Go ahead, and then I'll put the color commentation in after.
Okay, perfect. Surprised you didn't jump onto the EMT thing there. So anyway.
I was right there. I was that close.
I know, I could tell. So, well, good morning to everybody. Appreciate being here. And I just want to quickly start off with a really heartfelt thank you from all of us at the foundation for the support that you've given this year and continue to give. It's absolutely amazing. And from a personal perspective, as a coworker and a friend to all of you, it's very special for me for sure. So what you do is it's just, I know Ken mentioned it throughout the year, but the fact that these funds are coming from all of you and not from the corporation necessarily, not all of it anyway. It's very, very meaningful. So thank you very much, and it allows us to continue to deliver on our mission, and it's a mission we take seriously for sure. So
Tom would just say that the company obviously does give a lot, independent of that. So just so everyone knows, I think what makes us all feel so good about the employee giving is that it is right from the employees and it's from their own generous, charity giving, not from us directly. But thank you.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. So the support it's just been overwhelming from every direction. So, and to be considered with, 3 other excellent causes is it's humbling. It's just wonderful. So thank you all for that. And like I said, it allows us to deliver on our mission statement. Most of you know, but I'll say it again anyway for the newcomers here. The Classic Mike Lawyer Foundation is a 2-part mission statement. Our primary mission is to assist families who lose loved ones in worksite accidents, which we've unfortunately had to do too many times. And our secondary mission statement is to support unique causes in our community, and that gives us great flexibility to do whatever we need to do when there's a need. So we're going to continue to go down that road and try to help as many people as we can. Having really such great, what I call friends of the foundations, like our ECI family, is just allows this to all happen. So to date, Steve and I were talking about this earlier. To date, we've provided just a little under $575,000 to the communities that we've supported. So that doesn't happen without all of you. So thank you very much for that. We've seen an uptick, if you will, in frequencies over every year. It's gotten stronger and stronger, and that's a positive thing. People are recognizing we're there to help, and they're reaching out, and we're just blessed to be in a position to do so. One thing we've learned throughout the years is when someone's in a bad spot or times are tough, usually time is not on their side, and that's something I'm always proud of. This foundation moves quickly when we need to. It's pretty informal process. If you know someone, you make a comment and we move on it. So before I turn it over to Steve, I'm going to share just one story with everybody, and there's a lot of things we could talk about here. But last week we were contacted by the family of Catherine Waters. Catherine's a 7-year-old. I'm going to read part of the motion that was made. Catherine's a 7-year-old girl from the Northeast, and she's going through cancer. She has a terminal brain cancer. When she was diagnosed at 4 years old, she was given a very short amount of time to live, and she was selected with 6 other children of similar age from around the country to participate in a trial program at a hospital in Seattle. Since the program began, the group of 7 is now down to 3, as 4 of them unfortunately did not survive, but it's working for her, and she's outliving the odds. And it's this girl's got some spirit. You got to see some pictures of her, but she's in Seattle right now, as a matter of fact. So when she's in Seattle, they do infusions, and basically, if the tumor stops growing, the process is working. So that's what's happening now, and she's hopefully going to continue on that path. But during the past holiday season, she also got infected in the shunt that they used for the infusion. So she spent the entire holiday season in Dartmouth. But she was strong. She wanted to get out of there. She had an opportunity to go see the Bruins. She's a Bruins fan, and the hospital got her out in time. So she spent this past weekend with the Bruins, second time down there. She got the VIP treatment, and she's in Seattle now. And when she returns on Sunday, we'll be meeting with her and her family to present them with a check that we approved for this cause. And really, of everything that hit me hardest on this one, was all she really wants at 7 years old is just to be a regular kid and go to school. You know, the VIP treatment's all cool, but she's just wanting to just be a regular kid. So, when I talk about the timing, when people are in a bad spot and you don't have a lot of time, when we made the motion on this, our board fully unanimously approved it in a 6-hour period. So we moved real quickly on this, and that doesn't happen again without the support that all of you guys give us, you guys and girls. So thank you very much for everything you do. Seriously, can't say enough. So Steve, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Tom. First of all, thanks to the ECI family for supporting the Classic Mike Lawyer Foundation. You know, when we started this, I don't know, 12 years ago, we never envisioned that we would be where we are today. And when I say that, I don't mean that just financially, but from the relationships that we built with our partners out there. What's very touching and for me is that our ECI family has really become the gold standard of the kind of partners that we reach out and try to engage with. You guys set the bar high, and you're showing the way to the rest of the community that can chip in and help out. That's a testament not only to the employees of ECI, but to leadership as well. This stuff is typically top down. If leadership understands the value of this, what the value is to their employees, it's a really nice fit. And we just can't thank you enough for all you do. Tommy, I think you used the right word. It's humbling. And whenever I see an ECI truck, well-managed, maintained truck out in the field, I make the time to stop and thank them. I ran into a gentleman at a furniture store the other day. He happened to have an ECI piece on it, and I always get a little bit of dirt on you, Ben, and so I'm hanging up. Okay, I'm not going to say it right here, but if I ever need it, I'm going to bring it to the table. Ken, thank you so much for your leadership, and thanks to everyone in the ECI family. We couldn't do this without you, and we're proud to be considered for your charitable giving.
Okay, thank you, Steve, and thanks for joining us. And you're welcome to stick around for the technical part of the show, which is the project of the week presentation.
Perfect.
So, Ronnie, are you on too?
Yep, I'm on, Ken.
Perfect. I'm going to ask you to confirm when I first when I pronounce this. It's Judavine, right? Judavine.
Yeah,
okay.
Judavine Memorial Library.
Yep. Okay. So that's in Hardwick, and ECI was contracted with a ReArt company to cast and place a Judavine Memorial Library Edition, located at or it's almost an expansion, I think they might call it, located in Hardwick. So the project consists of 5,520 square foot of multi-level addition, 2,590 square feet renovation, and that will include accessible entrances at basement and first floor levels. The project anticipated start date was April of 23, but once they started to excavate around the existing foundation, they realized the foundation was not as deep as the drawings indicated, and they had encountered more groundwater than anticipated. The project came to a halt and went back to the design team. This delayed the project for 4 to 5 months. In September 23, the design team came up with the corrections for the foundation issue. They decided to do a 5 to 6 foot single face wall against the existing foundation. The water issue, they installed some pits and kept water pumps running while the work was performed, and picked up the building footing elevation 2 feet. So we were the concrete subcontractor to REARC, and we've completed the foundation footings, walls, and entry slabs, and work to be completed in the spring will be the interior basement slab and exterior sidewalks, and the total yardage on the project was 238 yards with 2,200 pounds of rebar. The existing library was built in 1896, donated by Malvina Judavine in memory of her beloved husband, that was Alden, and her son Neely Alden. And Lambert Packard was the architect. He was also a Vermont person that designed and built the existing library in 1896. So there's the photo soon after completion in 1896. And this is the modern new image to that we're trying to help build, and kind of has obviously that what we're talking about, putting that building right along, new addition right alongside of the existing foundation, a much deeper level. And Ronnie, you can tell us about some of this single.
Yeah, this was the
plumbing.
single face wall. You can see how rough the existing foundation was. Basically, just it was like blocks, granite blocks, kind of sitting there. It was pretty amazing on the foundation how long that building had stayed up there with that kind of design. But it's quite thick. There's another layer on the inside of this too. But so there's a lot of pinning, a lot of doweling, just to get our forms to hold.
So it's a dry place masonry, and is it mortar
Yeah,
joints on the inside or mortared on the outside?
Yeah, it was only mortared like at the top, and then there was a little bit of mortar kicking around here and there on the outside, but
I
the
see.
inside was a little bit better. But there was like holes you could see right straight through. So
Oh,
we plugged all the holes on the inside, best we could, and I think we didn't get nothing going on the inside.
oh, good.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
it's just
Because-
another corner. You know, this thing was, there's a doorway that goes into that library that there was a little, like a hatchway they cut off. And then we just kind of butted to each side of the doorway and went around the foundation on 2 sides.
So is it going to connect between the two areas
Yes,
at the lower level? Yeah.
that's this guy pumping the single face wall. We used our little trailer pump with a 2-inch line, worked really well with the 3/8 grits.
And single face walls are kind of special.
They are. That's just a picture of how it looked on the inside of the wall before, as we started pouring. That's where we started to put in. You can see the single face wall in the background there stripped. You know, like you said, Ken, they picked this the whole building up 2 feet. So if you figured like another 2 feet down, plus where the boys are in that square, that's the elevator. They also picked the elevator up to use a different style elevator, so they didn't have to go down 4 feet more for the elevator.
looking at the site around there, I can't imagine it being 2 feet deeper. It wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, it was kind of I didn't quite understand the design, why they had to go so deep. I mean, I think by picking that up, it's working out well for them.
Yeah, much better.
Just another shot of the footing. You know, they did do some earth support right there, excavation support with some blocks, and basically where I'm standing taking the picture, there's sheathing driven in that area, and also sheathing driven down on the far corner there. You can see a little bit of it.
I think we had to push a little bit to make sure all that got done well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely we had to push a little bit to make sure that it was safe.
Right.
You know, snow comes a little early up there in Hardwick, so you can see this is the single face wall done in the background, and the guys were starting the actual foundation. That was where we were just getting ready to pour our first wall pour. That's just inside the wall, showing kind of like the brick shelf. There's a lot of brick shelf, a lot of rim shelf. There's a lot of detail in this little addition. That's one thing we don't have pictures is the mat slab. It kind of sits down on them corners where that rebar sticking up, and it goes against the building, and then where that wall steps down to that rebar sticking out of the top of the wall, that's where it ties back to the existing building. There's a little wall that ties it back in.
Would certainly be easy to miss a shelf, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was there was quite a bit of deep shelf on this wall and on the other opposite side. But the guys did a great job on it.
Yeah, it'd be easy to miss it or put it at the wrong elevation or something, look at the steps in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a project from the photo archives. This is somewhere, maybe even Hardwick. This is on the Lamoille Valley Railroad take-up. And that was, of course, the LVR goes from Swanton to St. Johnsbury. And back in 2005, I think it was 4 and 5, ECI was under a contract with the VTrans to remove the rail and ties. And nowadays, of course, it's obviously the Vast Trail, plus also it's this, I don't know what they really call it. Well, they call it the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail now, which is open across the state for recreational purposes. So that was 2005. And there's the old log truck there, the old Peterbilt. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And I'll pass it back. And thank you, Steve, for joining us, and Tom.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll turn it back over to Matt for closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you all. If you're watching a group setting, please send over attendance. Just shoot me a text or an email so I can capture attendance on the extension cord safety topic. It's going to be a wet one today, so watch those slip, trips, and falls. Safe driving out there. Let's finish this week out strong. Let's be safe. Let's have a great day.
Thanks,
Okay.
Matt. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.